A-list celebs that couldn't help Harris. One thing that I think is clear after this election, I believe that celebrities will be used less. Celebrities will be used less in political campaigns. I think you will continue to see celebrities used to get out the vote. Let's all vote. I'm encouraging you to vote, but not encouraging any particular candidate or adopting causes that are universal, like let's, fix homelessness, or let's fix a problem that isn't left or right, that is just helps all of us. And I think celebrities, a lot of them we know for a fact, especially on TikTok and social media, they were paid. They were paid agents to get out and make statements. The Richard Gere one, which we saw, was pretty cringe. Harrison Ford was sad. The some, not all, of the Avengers, that one was very sad to see, and it came so last minute. I think that is going away because how can someone who's blue collar, working class relate to a celebrity? It's almost an insult. It almost pushes you the other direction. But anyways, if you would read this story and offer your commentary, Alan, I want to hear what you think.
All those A-list celebrities couldn't save Harris, but Joe Rogan helped Trump. Big endorsements didn't rescue Kamala Harris's presidential campaign yet. There's some evidence that Joe Rogan's gave Trump a boost with young voters. Joe Biden was perhaps inevitably going to be forced to quit his race for re-election, but George Clooney's July 10th New York Times op-ed urging the president to step aside was considered one of the major turning points in the public and donor class's opinion of Biden's fitness for office. A couple of celebrities' endorsements were built up in the media as absolutely critical needle movers. Whether or not Taylor Swift would back Vice President Harris, for example, was obsessed about for months. When Swift waded into the fray and endorsed Harris in September, her nod was considered a major win, racking up 10 million likes and sending a surge of 400,000 Swifties to vote to voter registration sites. Read one ABC headline: How Taylor Swift's endorsement of Harris could change the election endgame.
And by the way, it did not.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift did not change the election results. And in fact, I do think these celebrities probably did damage.
Yeah, in fact, the article gets into that. So the next one talks about Eminem, Lizzo, Bruce Springsteen, Megan Thee Stallion, all these celebrities supporting Harris, Charlie XCX, of course. Yet for all the Gen Z courtship and endorsements from celebrities with legions of young fans, vote tally showed that Harris significantly lost ground among 18 to 29-year-olds compared to Biden. All of this seems to support the 2010 North Carolina State University study. But young voters are not swayed by celebrity endorsements of political candidates, and sometimes even like the candidates less as a result of receiving a celebrity endorsement. They often like the celebrity less as well. And there was a pro-Harris ad narrated by Julia Roberts, which depicted two wives secretly voting for Harris while married to apparent Trump supporters. While some praise the ad as cleverly trying to peel off conservative-leaning female voters, others slam the commercial as condescending. And I think that's the big thing: is the tone you get is one of condescension. There's also a level of narcissism where these celebrities come up and say, "Hey, I've got these millions of followers. They're going to do everything I say because they love me," and then people see through that and kind of turn on the celebrity and the candidate this way as well.
I mean, I think that both campaigns. I mean, Trump got lucky on so many things, but also ran a great campaign.
Yeah,
he ran a great campaign. The Dems, a terrible campaign where they vilified this. How are you going to convince people to vote for you when you make them the enemy? That's not. It's God. It's very sad to see.
Well, one thing. Okay, so the way campaigns were run in the past, the candidate would do these quick interviews with 60 Minutes, ABC, NBC. But this election was very different. I mean, as the article points out, just sitting down and talking with Joe Rogan humanized Donald Trump. You know, sitting down with the and humanized Trump. You know, these are interviews that candidates would never have done in the past. 3-hour conversation, and it just shows, you know, that's why I believe the working class voters, you know, supported Trump compared to Harris and Biden and everyone else.
Well, the truth is also, the mainstream media has not been kind to Trump. In fact, they've gone out of their way to just like derail him and make like, I don't think we will ever see a debate ever again like that awful one he did with Kamala.
Yeah.
Where there, or even the Biden one, where you're muting mics, you've got 2 minutes. Why?
Yeah.
These rules are arbitrary. Let the candidates debate issues.
Yeah.
One of the great conversations, I'm not sure. I mean, I watched the Trump on Rogan. I watched Trump on Theo Vaughn. I saw JD Vance on Rogan and the Tim Dillon show. JD Vance, it was a nuanced conversation. He got deep into policy. He talked about his family life and his children.
Yeah.
He told funny stories, but then also talked why these issues are important to him. Never once did I hear anything from Harris that wasn't a canned statement, pre-rehearsed and workshopped, you know, amongst probably focus groups.
Yeah, no sound bites.
Trump goes with his gut. I mean, he could sit there and talk to you about cement.
Yeah.
See, but then
being able to talk extemporaneously like that just shows that he has a series of values and that his policies are going to be based on these values, and that if anyone talks to him about these values, he can speak to it from a very natural standpoint, versus Harris, who had a speech for everything, had a way to deflect, you know, never really talking about the issue. And so you never got to know her, which was the biggest problem, I think, for Harris, is we still don't. All we know is she was someone who ran for president and wanted to be president.
And I'll end with this before we go to your comments, but I think we need to look at who is being elected into offices, why they're being elected, where they come from, and how they solve problems. The way I see it is Trump could solve problems. He's a guy who got things done. He got buildings built. You know, the skating rink outside, like where they always show in NBC, there's that big rink.
The Rockefeller Plaza.
Rockefeller. They couldn't get that built for years. Trump did it in a short amount of time. He was like, let me handle it. Boom, and got it done.
Yeah, under budget and ahead of time.
Yeah, he knows how to talk to people. He understands timelines, deadlines, schedules. He is a builder, a businessman, a deal maker. Kamala Harris, her way of her express her words, how to solve problems was she was going to go after the price gouging. It was to litigate it like a lawyer. That's a way to solve a problem.
Like a prosecutor.
Like a prosecutor. Go after, like, especially groceries, which we know the profit margins are razor thin. It's like 5%. They're not making a lot of money in the grocery business. It's a very thin margins for groceries. So her way was to solve all these problems. Her plan was to prosecute more laws, more price gouging. That's not how you do it. So you need incentives. So I think, and also people just know how full of crap celebrities are, that it's so hypocritical that, you know, I love actors. I think they're, you know, when you see a great actor who's worked hard, gives a great performance, brings some entertainment to us, I love it. I don't want to be lectured by them about anything about politics. And it was the Golden Globes years ago. I was actually at that Golden Globes. I was in the overflow room for an NBC party. Some people who knew me at G4 invited me because it's Universal, Comcast, same company. And somehow I got to this party, which was crazy because Bill Murray was working the bar as a joke. It was fun. Anyways, I was at the one. That was the one where all the clips of Ricky Gervais berating the celebs was from. I saw that live with other people surrounded by like cast of SNL, other celebs who couldn't get in the big room, who weren't, they weren't nominees. And you felt it.
Yeah.
And boy, it's like, you know what? Truth is funny. And that was the truth. You saw the reactions of people like Tom Hanks and others, like, you are full of crap. You're hypocrites. This is not, it's almost like if the celebs are on that side, we know that most of them are uninformed and can't speak to the issues facing everyday Americans. But it's insulting to think that, we'll be wooed by any of these celebs toward a vote. It's ridiculous. And the fact that many of them are paid, in particular, the ones on TikTok. We know
Harrison Ford.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if Harrison Ford was paid, but why would he do that?
Yeah, exactly.
Spit it out.
I mean, I'll tell you this. It's like my issue with celebrities is that, especially these four and the others, is that they forgot what it's like to be the working person. They forgot what it's like to have to work every day to be able to afford food for your table, to buy gas for your car, to buy ever increasing insurance payments, to never dream of ever owning a home. They forgot what that's like. And for them to come out and say, look, I acted like a normal person in movies, so therefore I am. And so therefore you should listen to me. And again, I'll say it again. It's the ultimate form of narcissism. To feel like that their fans will just gush over them and follow them like a cult leader. And I think they learned that they are not cult leaders. They are, as Gary describes them, adult pretenders. They have no idea what we go through and what we have to do to live day to day. And that's why we don't listen to them, or why we take their endorsements with a grain of salt.